Alright, let's begin with what we have today on the docket. Plenty of room for recordings, and a nice big operation here. So, we're apparently getting 10 minutes on map. That also gives me 10 minutes to explain what's going on. So, hi guys, Weewoo here. We are back with OFCRA now that the entire world has gone back in time an hour with daylight savings. There were a few dates that I couldn't cover because of time conflicts with, excuse me, TSB's next operation. So, some of you might recognize this if you were here on Liru's channel a few weeks ago. This is the same exact operation we had earlier that got canceled because of desync issues. They did do some updates to the server similar to what FNF has done, so you'll see, you know, the speed doesn't meet the network standard. We had a funny little clip of the server kicking off like 30 people on FNF from last Friday's mission that a lot of people seem to like. But anyway, we're back on this OFCRA mission. It is Greeks versus Turks, with Greeks being Blue 4 and the Turks being on Op 4. So, it's going to be a very simple operation here with how the event is going to go. There are 3 different ways points can be scored today for this OFCRA operation. The first is General Supremacy. So if either side gets knocked down to 5 or fewer members in this, I think it's about a 60-person operation, so 30v30, maybe a little more, maybe a little less.
So let's give them a warm welcome, shall we?
Then the opposing team gets 2 points. So if Turk Forces Op 4 gets knocked down to 5 or less guys, Blue 4 gets 2 points. And if Blue 4 gets knocked down to 5 or less guys, Op 4 gets 2 points. There is another way to score points in this one, and that is regarding the officer. So it is an Op 4 officer that spawns down here, and he has to somehow get 2 friendly forces, with Blue 4 forces deploying between him and those Turkish forces. If he is kept alive for this operation, the Turks, I believe, get 3 points. It's either 2 or 3 points. And if he is killed by Blue 4, then he gets the points as well. Then there is a neutral objective. Well, then Blue 4 gets the points, excuse me. But then the neutral objective, I believe, is for control of this base right here. Whoever controls it by the end of the session also gets 2 points. So we have a few other things here. I believe the officer needs to end at the communication center by the end of this operation. Otherwise, the Turkish don't get the points for the officer, so they can't just stash him in a corner of the map till the op ends. And we also have some tech slots marked. This is for debug slots. So Op 4 has debug units that spawn up there if it's needed. And Blue 4 also has debug units that'll spawn over here if they're needed. So, Blue 4, as we saw last time, they're para-dropping in the center of this island area, and then Op 4, they spawned up at that base. There are multiple ground assets on both sides. Op 4 had a tank, for example, and various vehicles, while Blue 4 were mainly on foot, but they do have a submarine 4-man SDV team to slide into somewhere. So, last time in the operation, what we saw is the officer had a bicycle. He went underwater with it to get himself a lot of extra distance from the mainland, and then there was an Op 4 boat coming around to pick him up. So, probably see the same plan again, because that seemed like a pretty good strategy, better than the Op 4 guy trying to evade all those Blue 4 units. Maybe they redid it, because, you know, most sides would probably be able to predict what the other is doing if they were to watch back that stream or watch back other people's streams. I would set up a multi for it, but I don't know who's doing what, because no one messages me things here. So I'm just chilling in the TeamSpeak right now. I'm not going to go into the TFAR channel for this one because I don't want to overhear people's traffic, because how Spectator works in Arma 3 is when you die, you're all put to the same audio channel, and the last thing we want to hear while we're commentating is someone to scream, "Damn it," really loud after they get sniped or something. That would be pretty damn funny, but I'm also deactivating my sounds here, and hopefully the desync won't cause any issues tonight. Now, the actual desync issue they had with this mission file was apparently 2.0, and when I say 2.0 here, I mean Arma 3 with their 2.0 update. it added something where objects in the air were causing some really nasty bits of lag. So as I predicted, it was the those planes that were causing it because of an update. So they have fixed that issue, and I'd love to see it work here because after I see that it's working, I do want to make a a TSB themed op from those flying planes that Blue 4 is going to jump out of. But anyway, as we wait for those 10 minutes to pass, a few things on the docket today. First off, there will be a TSB operation in a little under 2 hours. It is going to be a play off of the TM virtual reality map made by Skytech USA. I've been calling them Skytech Online like an idiot. Which it was Kaspersky Antivirus, but instead it's going to be themed around restarting the server for TSB to also announce our new IFA update. So that'll only take about an hour. I'm trying to make the Thursday ops be a little bit quicker because I don't want to keep cutting into Granite's 7:30 slot. So the ops are only going to be like, an hour to 75 minutes. So next week, for example, we'll have that, not German, excuse me, U.S. Defense against the Japanese. And then I'll keep the ops centered around, just like an hour long worth of combat, hour to hour and 15 minutes max. Just short but sweet things to try to squeeze it in the time slot. And then once I finish school, I'll forego the Thursday slot, switch it back to a Wednesday slot, and then I'll have my time back again. So, just trying to fit everything in the schedule here. But that'll be an interesting, virtual reality, twisted, Inception-style operation that I don't think will take any more than an hour. It's meant to be a quick one. But from there, we have a new campaign starting with Paw Patrol at 8 o'clock. That is going to, again, be a quicker operation. It's going to be an airfield sabotage. They're going to insert on Serrani with some boats, take out the northern airfield and any assets they find on it, and then extract to a fishing boat. And that's going to be a campaign in on itself. So if they leave any of the aircraft there on the airfield, or any of the vehicles there, I'm going to be able to use those later in the campaign against them. So it's, again, like, hiring PMCs to do sabotage stuff, which normally you do special forces for, but I was limited in the map choice, so I just came up with something instead. And then we have the TM operation tonight, which I don't know anything about. We just hop on and we see what's going on, but I've learned I don't take leadership at night because I'm too tired, and I don't take anything complex at night because, again, I'm too tired and it just stresses me out and pisses me off too easily. Whether or not we'll see a tiki bar with anime girls again, I don't know, but we'll see how things go. And, of course, Kandor coming in with the hashtag free Kandor. It's going to be 5 minutes behind him saying that, but he is almost unbanned. I will not have a 700th op this Saturday. This Saturday is going to be another off day because Bloodway and I are apartment shopping. And we will be back with the 700th op next week. Again, their deadline for submitting missions is like Wednesday midday. And this week I've been too busy, focusing on last night's 506th op, which, by the way, we have to start making a new campaign for the 506. I'm not going to bring any special VODs except maybe a new map. But the zombie campaign concluded, and we have already released a video. And I also, I think 15 minutes ago, or it might have been 8 minutes ago, released a public op from last Friday. So it should be good enough. But I don't know what I'm doing with the 506 yet. I think we're going to keep it modern, milsim, maybe something a little longer than that little 4-shot winter campaign we did. Or was it 3? It was 3 or 4 missions. So something a little longer than that, but, again, something dynamic with the world. And then I'll see what they have in their maps, and if I don't want to do anything with those, I'll work something else. But that was put through, and what else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, so the mission development for that underground bunker complex, that took me all of Wednesday and a little bit of Tuesday, and then over the weekend I was working on a different one for that mission, but I decided to scrap it because I didn't like how it looked. So instead I, remade it, and I streamed some of the process there. But then the rest of my Wednesday and this morning went to developing the TSB op for today, which I hope people enjoy. I accidentally stepped on some toes when I announced it. I wasn't trying to like be spiteful, but some people took it as a misconception. So I accidentally pissed off a few morning because it was like, I was shit talking the IFA mod. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was just trying to make a parody thing about the update. But c'est la vie. I'm an idiot. I'll eventually learn how to be a social being here, but all right. So, as you saw in the side chat, they were developing they had 10 minutes in map screen, and I was talking about the op, and now, we're in the mission. They've got a 10-minute warm-up here, and we're going to be able to review their assets. So first off, right off the bat, I see that the floating shelf survived the audit of the mission. That's great. Everyone loves a good old-fashioned floating shelf. I find that really funny. But what I'm also happy about is they gave me a dedicated spectator slot, so I can actually, track tracers instead of having to die on a side and then get it. So that is always great. But let's see. I'm not seeing night vision on either side. It looks like they're going to be stuck to this type of viewership, so that means illumination is going to be very important. But I also know it's going to get earlier in the or I guess later in the evening, and hopefully it'll brighten up a little bit, because this type of environment is going to be hard. So we have what looks like a T-72 on Op4. It's the same exact assets as a few weeks ago. And they've also got two M113s with the open 50 cal. We've got I think this is a 5-man Hilux, so 2 in here, and then the additional 3 can fit back there. It might be able to fit more, but I think it's a 5-man. And then 2 transport Euros. And again, this is the Turkish side. They also have 2 M240 bunkers that they can deploy over kill zones. I remember when we talked about this mission earlier, when it, was desyncing like hell, which, by the way, it's not anymore. They're not rubber banding. They fixed the issue. Great. We did mention how when Blue 4 has to come up and capture this spot, or if the independent guy is able to sneak around, the kill zones that are going to be set up in this zone are going to be absolutely devastating for Blue 4 to kind of push through. Also, you're dead, man. Thanks for the 9-month resub. What are we calling the kid? It's been 9 months. But I hope you keep enjoying the ops, man. Again, we're on a 5-minute delay, so sorry if this is a bit late towards you, but hope you keep enjoying the ops, and I hope you get a kick out of this one. Now, something else I kind of like, I like the furniture that's been developed in here. Normally in Arma 3, you don't want to develop furniture because it's just extra details for an op, which cost frames, but with this size of an operation, let me quickly tab out and check. We're at about a 60 to 70 person operation. There's 64 people in the server, counting me 65, because I'm basing this off of the TFAR channel. There's still like another, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's still like 10 more people trying to get on. So this will be like a 70 person operation. So let me type that in the title, 70 plus. And I didn't mean to hit caps lock right there. Hold on. There we go. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I don't mind answering them. It'll just take me a few minutes to, get to the question to answer it. But yeah, no, we're on a 5-minute delay because OFCRA has asked me to put that 5-minute delay on. This is the only stream I do right now that has a 5-minute delay. So everything's a little delayed, but I swear I'll get to you all and everything. I saw Steel was down. He woke back up, though. And, the night vision is a little tough here because we have the light right there, and I'm also starting to see the night vision come out. So it looks like they all do have night vision. It was just built into their inventory. So this will be a mainly nighttime operation. Now, oh, no. No, not the map glitch. There we go. Sometimes the map can get a little sticky. Now, once again, we have the golf team, which is the 4-man SDV team. They also have P90s, or at least one of them had a P90. There we go. He's I think the medic. Let's see. Bluck he's just a regular dude in there, but they've also got like a marksman team, and then, a bunch of specialist weapons. But yeah, no. So 3 of them have P90s that are suppressed, and one of them has like a full-on marksman rifle with a flash hider. So these guys can deploy on the rear of those Op4 machine gun bunker positions and take them out from a flank, thus alleviating the pressure from the main Blue 4 force. And I cannot wait to see how they are brought on. And then you have the rest of Blue 4 all the way over yonder. Just have to find them.
Send in goat
Hold
team
up.
6 now.
They're
Oh,
actually...
Shizalit had been already this long. Well, always glad to support the LCP. Hope the player base has fun today.
So this is how they fixed it. Those air assets that were causing the desync, they've actually gotten rid of them. And instead, they have opted to give Blue 4 boats. So 2 SOCOM boats now, instead of them jumping out of those planes. So that probably means I'm not going to use those planes any TSB ops soon because of the desync issues that they were causing. But we've also noticed both sides, they do have ammunition to pull things from, some special weapons, etc. Blue 4, for their AT main weapon, like their MAT team, quote-unquote, they got a Carl Gustav to take care of the tanks. We also are seeing some G3 rifles with even some ACOGs on them. Wow. So this will be a bit of a longer range fight. Also, that laser is coming out of the magazine? Hold on. See, this is Shadow here. He's running around with it. I think the laser is... Like, I see the laser module on his gun, but the laser is misaligned. That's kind of funny. But yeah, no. So these guys are being given 7.62-based weaponry from the looks of it, G3 German rifles, as are Greek force, and then the Op 4 Turkish force, it looks like is... I'm seeing some standard stag mags here. Or Stenags. I always call them stag mags. That's a misconception on my end. But they're rocking basic 5.56. I'm also not seeing that many long-range scopes on them. So here's actually one right here. But we're seeing just kind of a difference in, you know, some factions have slightly better gear here, while, you know, Op 4 has the frickin' tank. So we'll see how things go. But this will be a pretty even, about 35, 40 v 40. We already have Corvo dead, but looks like he relogged because he is A-okay. But with this being here, Blue 4 has a little bit more of an option on where they want to deploy. So Op 4 is going to have to be a little more careful on where they set up their defensive lines. But that gives this officer more time to move around. Unfortunately, I think the officer was screwing around with his water escape vehicle and might have just... accidentally knocked it in the water, and now it's infinitely gonna go in that direction. So let's see, it's Burnus here. He is the objective man. He's probably gonna have to take the bike instead, but if he just takes the bike and hugs the right side of the AO, he should be okay. The water Vic would have been a little bit better. I don't think Op 4 knows where Blue 4 spawns, though. So knowing that bit of meta, if, you know, he just took the water Vic and came around, because that's just an SVD team, he could make it. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that adjustment. I'm also going to check right here, see if Op 4 has their boat again. I don't see Op 4 with the boat. So this is kind of landlocked their officer, unless he wants to swim for that moped. Or not moped, excuse me, the water scooter. Similar vehicle, but one's amphibian, one is aquatic and one is ground-based. 2 minutes left, but yeah, no, there's not... Oh, no, here's the RHIV. All right. So there can still be a water-based interception if Op 4 wants to try to go for that. So I'm hoping this op only lasts about an hour so we can, you know, get into the TSB operation early and on time, but there isn't that much prep I have to do for it. It's just writing and everything. Just having a sip of water here. But based off of the fact that Benaris here is staying by the bicycle, I think he's going to try to take that to go through and get to friendly forces before it's picked off. Also, Hellbound, thanks for the host, man. Appreciate it. And I hope you get a kick out of this PvP thing. Custom faction mods? No. It's, the kits are built off of RHS and BW mod. So the G3s that Blue 4 is using are from BW, and then most of the gear you're seeing here is actually RHS itself. Again, you can get very creative with, you know, building your own kits and stuff, and I just heard someone smack someone. They have a mod in OFCRA. It's a knock people unconscious mod, and you can literally run up and knock someone unconscious for 5 seconds, and it's... I haven't seen it since the 501st had it as a quote-unquote secret mod, but these guys actually use it as a PvP concept, which I find is really funny. It just has a cooldown with it, though, and that audible smack will make everyone else turn around to deal with it. But Candor, yes, hashtag free Candor. You're unbanned soon, man. It's going to be great. Thanks for the 4-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this one. And the mission has officially started, and we're getting some desync spikes. That's not good. Actually, that wasn't desync. That was just some lag spikes here. End of mission. 6 hours and 30 minutes. Well, we're not going to stay on for the full 6 hours and 30 minutes here. I think that's a glitch. But I don't believe it's supposed to take that long. Otherwise, Op 4, Benaris here. We're just going to call him Benis for the rest of the op. He is the lone officer biking into... He's doing something all right. They also gave him the spine shirt. Oh, that's funny. Benis here is trying to discover the real nature of Arma physics. I keep remembering, like, I keep looking to chat to see your guys' reaction, but I'm like, oh yeah, we're on the 5-minute delay. So I'm sure you'll get to that spot in a second. Otherwise, Blue 4 have fully mounted these two SOCOM-Vics and are driving them in now. Some people on the rear guns for security, but with the fog this thick, it's hard to see, but they're not going to be able to get more than about 75 to 100 meters of visibility. So it looks like they're going to go immediately for a southern approach, trying to find Benis here. He's put his light on. At least I think that's his light. No, it's just, okay, no, he turned it off. I think he's trying to drive it into... Geez, that's some pretty tough traction there, but it looks like he has found a place to put his bike. Oh, no, he broke the front wheel. So is he actually going to hide in this town? Because Blue 4 is coming towards him. He's also shooting out the lights. But it's going to be a classic game of Blue 4 hide and seek then. Op 4 is going to come down with an RHIB with 2 dudes, so they're going to try to pick him up. And Op 4, I guess, is going to set up a defensive line here. Meanwhile, the SDV has been mounted by Blue 4, and it is underway, but it's still going to be another, like, 5 minutes before it makes it to shore. So this should be interesting. I'm not sure if Benis here is going to expect any Blue 4 guys to rush his position, but I think a SOCOM boat's literally going to pull right up to him, and I'm not sure if he's going to expect that or not, so... He is now going to run along the coast here. If we were to look out, how far has his water scooter gone? It's definitely out here now. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea where it's gone. But I believe you even see him as the VIP section there. He is going to... And he's put his flashlight on. He's going to the southern tip. This is going to be really bad if the SOCOM boat manages to see him on shore and goes for an intercept. Because I believe it is a kill. Blue 4 is going for a kill here, not a capture, to get the points. Blue 4, I think, is just trying to come around, which means they could also intercept that RHIB with their guns, but... This is actually kind of funny. The boat's going to pass within about 200 meters of Benis here, but I don't think that's going to be enough. We're going to see a little bit of it through the fog. So the question is, does anyone down on that boat spot Benis? And we had people pointing right at the shore. I don't think they spotted him. But yeah, no, he's going for the water now. But now the real question is going to be, is the boat going to spot the RHIB coming in? And if it does and engages the boat, how is Benis going to get to the evac point for himself? Very interesting. TSB will be getting there up in about an hour. No, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. A little under an hour and a half. Or a little over, actually. We'll get there when we get there. Otherwise, Blue 4 have done a bit of a far dismount here. Usually when you see this type of dismount, it means that Blue 4 want to use the boat later on. I think they're actually reassigning people to get on the rear guns. They're keeping someone in the driver's seat. So I think they fully intend to keep using this boat. We see some dead bodies coming out. That was most likely people that got kicked off because of the quote-unquote network requirement of the server. So that's unfortunate. But, I mean, there's an example of it right there. And again, that's to help the server not desync out. But yeah, no, I'm not sure if that GMG is rescripted or not, but that would be a very nice asset to have to help Blue 4 push up on this flank. Meanwhile, looking back at the boats, Blue 4 has decided to hug the coast here, so that SOCOM boat's going to miss that RHIB. The RHIB, based off of where the OPFOR guy is swimming, they have a rendezvous point down here. And they're going to pick him up and possibly just, you know, swing around to a different section. Meanwhile, the SDV, I said a few minutes ago it was 5 minutes away. I've underestimated how slow that thing is. It's probably another 2 to 3 minutes to get on the shore there. But now it's just a matter of where is this Vic going to dismount. I think it's going to dismount on the other side to set up a nice battle line here. And also so they can get their boats on either side to kind of help them assist in taking that position. Yep, so leaving one guy on the gun. He's taking the GMG, and the boat itself is going back. It might pull back to pick up some of these additional guys as well, who late joined, late spawned. But with that, we clearly see one of the subgroups in the community. They are heading out on their own to, I guess, hit Central. And then this boat is probably going to dismount forces here as well. I take it that chat has just picked up on what Venice was doing with the broken wheel on the bicycle. I think he was just messing around, waiting so he'll be in line. You know what? I think they timed it. I think OPFOR genuinely timed a rendezvous point right here. So Venice knew how long it would take for him to get there from swimming and how long the RHIB would take to get there based on the RHIB's route. So they could, you know, not have him waiting in the ocean and not have the boat waiting for him. So I think he was just messing around with some of the assets he had. That's why he drove the Vic out, which up here it is. I thought that was a lot farther. I mean, it's going slowly, but okay. Well, I thought that went out super damn far. And then, yeah, his bike, he also moved in this building, I guess just to throw off any Blue 4 guys that were going to try to hunt him down. But based off of how the boat is going along this vector, and he is about, you know, 100 meters out, I definitely think they pre-planned that route so they could ensure best efficiency for that. Now, we're looking over here. It looks like a few guys potentially drowned or got wounded as they came to shore. I think that's because they might have, as they were jumping out, the boat might have moved and armored a few of them. This isn't really good. They need to get these guys out of the water, because otherwise they'll drown quicker than they, you know, will get medicked back. So we might see a few extra Blue 4 KIAs here, and that's not what we want to see early on, because Blue 4's already at a bit of a disadvantage since they have to go contend with that tank. But otherwise, it looks like the officer has been picked up by the OPFOR RHIB and is going to RTB. And it looks like both SOCOM boats are kind of waiting nearby Blue 4 here to try and, I guess, deliver support fire. But we have another guy. He was unconscious. Now he is dead because he has pretty much drowned. But based on the, how would I say this? The viscousness of the patch of red right here, because this is a blood stain, since it's like circular almost, because this is just a bunch of textures and then the middle is actually incredibly more dark, he must have gotten hit like at least 10 or 15 times to make a single, I think his leg, bleed out that much. Whew. Otherwise, SOCOM boat is almost going to make it. Taking a quick drink right here. But I think that SOCOM boat's goal is to either assault the OPFOR airbase early or to get some recon data for the main group. But I mean, this base is pretty well defendable. They've got a light coming in. They've got, you know, bunkers, everything that they could need. Also, looking at OPFOR's spawn, it looks like they did also take one of the machine gun bunkers. They also moved around the other one because they were facing south. This one's now facing west. So that is quite interesting to see there. And OPFOR is trying to set up defensive lines on this northern hill overwatching this airfield. That's really smart because look at this massive kill zone that they're going to be able to watch any Blue 4 guys coming in on. The only weakness of it is if Blue 4 gets in the low ground and moves slowly through this area down here, they could easily get around that kill zone that OPFOR is trying to make, take the objective right here, and then launch a staged offensive from down here. But this ridgeline that we're also seeing OPFOR kind of set up on, we also have Zulu unconscious over here. Don't know if he was run over or was just bleeding out and it's lost too much blood, because when it's nighttime and you have NVGs, it's really hard to see the pulsing pain effect to show that you have taken damage. But no, it looks like he woke back up now, so weird. But OPFOR, if they just set up a nice U right here, not even covering that area, if they just set up a backwards L, they could easily just hold the entire position from up here. So, you know, a machine gun bunker looking over here, they grab the other machine gun bunker, look here. They could easily prevent Blue 4's advances into the area here. But we have OPFOR popping some lighting over here. I think these are just chem lights from the looks of it. Yep. And we also have Blue... that was OPFOR, excuse me. OPFOR is doing that. Blue 4, meanwhile, have dismounted the SDV, and they are now scubaing in. So I think because Blue 4 is just holding right here, they're waiting on that scuba team to come into the AO itself and go from there. We also have one of the SOCOM boats that have pulled around to the submarine itself. He's on his own. He doesn't have a gunner with him. That's interesting enough. And I think Blue 4, because they have the full hour and a half, they have time to let this SOCOM team come in. They'll probably find a high point and try to find OPFOR's positions, so then Blue 4 knows where to go. But Blue 4 can also easily go reposition themselves if needed with their boats and completely circumvent OPFOR's defensive lines. What we're also seeing is some vehicles that were right here. It looks like Blue 4 is taking hold of them and is going to help, use civilian Vics to help in their advanced on OPFOR's positions. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to look at some of these other positions and try to see if there's any other vehicles around. We do have a car and a motorcycle right here. 2 motorcycles, actually. So, Blue 4 can commandeer those vehicles and use them in to push up on OPFOR's defensive lines here. We still have flanker over here on that SOCOM boat. I mean, with the fog kind of lifted up, if he was looking around, he could potentially spot that boat. Could at least see something because we're in the same position. Hold up, he just got in the boat. I don't think he's going to see it because he's locked in the first person even with the vehicles. And that's now going to be like incredibly difficult to spot from his angle. He's looking off to the left. I could see him soloing, pulling in front of that boat because he has the quicker boat here. Dismounting, getting on the frickin' M134 and shredding that boat apart. But I think the RHIB is just narrowly going to be able to evade his glance here. And again, that boat also evaded the SOCOM boat as it was hugging the shoreline. So some potential for the rounds to end pretty early here, or at least OPFOR to gain a significant point advantage and to force OPFOR to then defend the secondary objective here. But instead, run out to a draw. Trying to think. We have, by the way, NASA is the guy that invited me to start shoutcasting this stuff. He's part of the, I'm going to call them the Delta team, because they're, you know, special forces. We've got 2 of them coming down the coast, and we have 2 others, and one of them is the marksman here, coming up on the side right here. So I like this nice little division here. Lets them cover more ground, get more eyes around. Also, you might notice some of these names from Friday Night Fights, because these guys are all in the same PvP circle. Now, interesting enough, these 2 guys are going to see the RHIB come in. And I wonder if they might try to make a move on it. I think the RHIB is going to pull into this harbor. It's going to be a bit safe on that. I think OPFOR is also waiting with that car to pull them in. But we also have a 117, excuse me, 113, wrong vehicle. 113 coming down. I'm not sure if it's just on a random patrol or if they're going to pick up the officer with that. But based off of how it's coming along this route, I think it's just doing a circular patrol right here, which is smart. They're just trying to prevent any Blue 4 advances from coming. But as I say that, it's turned around and is now watching the coast. So we're on a 5-minute delay. But I think OPFOR might be predicting, because they know where the Special Forces VIX spawns, excuse me. They might be predicting that Blue 4 will send a group up here, so they've sent a 113 to try to overwatch this beach route. Oh, wow. So Delta might get caught out of position here, because they're going to run right in front of this gunner. And the gunner turns to the left at the fucking moment he needed to be watching that vector. Oh! Oh my, that... He might have just seen them on that angle, though, and now he's firing. Yep, but that was some crazy dumb luck that Hippie decided to look the other way at that moment. But now they know that the Delta team is here. We're seeing Steel here engaging Sharo. He's getting shot at, though, and he gets not taken out, but he gets knocked out. So he's knocked unconscious, but not dead. And we got the 113 coming around. But now it's going to be up to Blue 4 to kind of advance up here and get into position. Looks like we also have some Blue 4 guys on the tech slots. So that's, you know, respawns in case, you know, it's needed for technical issues. But let's see. It looks like Hippie and his gunner here, Nubas, someone was able to take out one of the Blue 4 guys. It wasn't... I'm not sure who it was, actually, because we do have a Vic down. It wasn't Steel either, but there were 4 guys, and now there are only 3. So Gotland's crawling around down here, looking into his group. Yeah, Bluck is dead. So he got engaged by someone. It was Ram that got him with the machine gun. All right. Now, I wonder if Sharo is going to flank that 113. Also, we have OPFOR firing out at their own VIP boat. And the VIP boat's also getting close to the SOCOM boat, but I doubt the SOCOM boat's going to react to it. So Sharo, if he's smart, he's going to come around behind this Vic and get an easy headshot on Hippie, but the backplate's going to help cover Hippie's head. So NASA right now, he's hiding. He's throwing, I think, smokes or frags around. No, that was, yeah, that was a flashbang.
Send and go Team 6.
But Sharo's going to be able to get a really good angle on the gunner here, which I believe is Hippie. No, it's Nubass here. I'm sorry, because you see the little gunner symbol there. Oh, this is perfect if Sharo were to come out and Hippie were to stop the Vic for a second. Oh, this is what Sharo needs. Oh, so Reaper's Insanity giving a random sub out. There is the knockout. Oh, wow. No way. Hippie decided to turn out to look with Sharpo and, with Nubass, excuse me. Hippie wakes back up, though, quickly turns in. But, yeah, Nubass is KIA. Hippie, he's going to be safe in there as long as he doesn't turn out, but he picked the wrong time to turn out, and Sharo was able to get the kill. Sharo does have AT as well, so if he were to walk up there and put a charge on it, he'd be A-okay and taking that Vic out. Romeo trying to get a hit on Sharo, but, I mean, from the waterway, he could easily put the charge on the back here and be fine. Looks like the RHIB has pulled around far. They're going to hold him in the water for now because that's where they believe he's the safest, the VIP, I mean. And that's not a bad call. They just have to bring him in to be there at the end. So, you know, in the last 10 minutes of the op, then he needs to pull around. So Sharo's going to put a fucking explosive charge from the waterway. Hippie, I guess, sensing something's up. Charo quickly trying to rig a satchel. It's going to have a reduced effect because it's in the water. And he decides against it. He should have been able to plant it on the Vic itself, though. Hippie now doing a backup. He might be in coordination with Romeo there, and Romeo might have had an angle to see that Charo was right there, so Hippie just quickly jolted back to try to run him over. I'm not sure if that's legal or not to do in this in OFCRA, though. Oh, yeah, no, Hippie is definitely driving around defensive. No! Charo did get the charge down and just took out the 113. Causing the 113 to go into the ground. Hippie now pulling back. Somehow surviving. Because Ace is very liberal with your ability to survive explosive charges. And now Hippie's running up the coast. Charo might be caught out of position here, though. Looks like, nope, Goatland's also pulled around over there. NASA was spotted in the tall grass. That was a great play by Charo there. I thought he picked the charge back up, but instead I think he armed it, and the camera angle just glitched out on it temporarily. So that was pretty great. But Reapers, again, thanks for giving out a random gift stub. Christian, I hope you thank Reapers. I hope you'll keep enjoying the ops. Hope you get a kick out of this one. Hold up. Hippie is going to catch Charo out of position here. Quickly goes in the bipod and gets a head. It wasn't a headshot, but it knocked Charo out. If he stays underwater for 45 seconds, he will drown. Actually, no, he won't because he's got a rebreather on and shit. So Hippie, unless he goes up and throws grenades on Charo, he's not going to be able to kill him. We just saw a grenade get thrown, but it was nowhere as close as it needed to be. I think Hippie's going to run up, possibly grenade Charo point blank and get it. But meanwhile, we have Falcon that's pushed up. He is now trying to engage NASA here. NASA expending all 50 of his rounds to the P90, switching to his handgun. Trying to push on Falcon. Falcon did a quick reload here. And NASA, unfortunately, turning away and gets headshotted by Falcon, and I think also shot in the back by Steel and Biscuit. Goatland, meanwhile, he's been pushing into this perimeter here. Climbed over some razor wire and hurt himself, so he's bandaging up. Looks like Hippie was able to actually confirm the kill on Charo here. And the Blue 4 Delta team is not really having a good time here. Definitely not being as effective as they wanted to. Sure, they knocked out a 113, but a really strong suppressed infantry team I don't think is a good trade for a single 113. Maybe the T-72, sure, but it's tough to say. Meanwhile, Steel is down. I think Goatland might have been able to get a shot on him. If Goatland was smart, he'd throw a frag up there, which I think is exactly what he's trying to line up right now. Gets a perfect frag in there. Might knock Biscuit out as well. No knockouts, but he definitely got some shrapnel wounds there. Actually, with the little, the angle of the structure here, it actually looks like it hid Biscuit's right leg and prevented Biscuit from taking a lot of damage there. But we do see a lot of blood on the ground here. This is just a texture glitch, but their blood will come to the ground level. And now you got Biscuit dragging Steel down to prevent any more grenade throws. So it's just up to Goatland at this point. But so far, it's been some pretty even trade. So all of that Delta team's down. And I mean, the only person that's really died is Nubass, and they lost a 1-1-3. So it's tough to say who has the upper advantage right now. I would say it's still OFCRA because of their asset balance, but Goatland, I mean, he is the marksman. He does have a flash hider, and I've seen him in FNF. He's a pretty good player. So I think if we were to give him some opportunity here, when I say we, I mean the enemy players, give him a chance to kind of come around and, you know, knock out some of these guys from the rear, I think he could do an exceptionally good job. But look at Falcon's spot right here. Oh, that is honestly the perfect spot. He can engage anyone that runs into this compound, and no one has a chance to re-engage him, except if he knocks someone to their feet, and they'll immediately, you know, PID where he is and turn. But that gives Falcon so much time to knock him out, and he has a 30-round magazine. By then, if their head gets lower, he can easily headshot them, as Blue 4 player would try to find him. But we'll see if Goatland potentially falls for something like that. We also have Ram overwatching the actual gateway itself, and he's the one that's already gotten a kill today. So if he gets in a fight with Goatland, Goatland is going to very easily silhouette out because he's in all black for these, you know, green NVGs, whereas Ram will be a little bit tougher to spot because, you know, his camo, I would say, you know, this partially blends in. You can see the bulge right there in the little black spot, but I mean, that compared to that, when it's brightly lit as this, you know, with our NVG, I think Ram will be able to have a little bit of a quicker reaction there. So if I was in OPFOR's shoes and I had a perfect information system, as in players were communicating with each other actively, and there were no lines of communication severed, OPFOR would know that there is still a Blue 4 presence here because of that grenade throw by Goatland, and they would know that they didn't take anyone out. So I think we're actually having OPFOR bringing in an additional 4-man team here. This appeared to be a far-right security wing, overwatching the coast for any Blue 4 Vics that would come in. So they're going to probably come down, link up with Hippie, and sweep this area for any more Blue 4 guys, because the OPFOR guys here know that there is still a Blue 4 presence. Meanwhile, it looks like Goatland was able to vault over the wall here, and he might actually, not the wall, excuse me, the gate. Looks like he is going to try to climb over the gate right here as well through the barbed wire. Ouch. No, he's standing on top of the... He's using the barbed wire. I guess his shark suit is also rated to stop barbed wire cuts. He's trying to use the barbed wire to... Oh my god. He has now climbed into the base from the barbed wire, and now he can completely circumvent the entrance. Falcon's still in a good spot to, you know, see him coming around on the flank, but Goatland, now he can just set up right here, wait for him to go back in that tower and just snipe him. And, I mean, that's, what, like a 20 to 30 meter shot, and he's got freaking DMS scope and a flat... Yeah, he'll be easily able to get a free headshot. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of the Blue 4 force, they're still kind of being slow right here. Looks like they have some guys doing recon where they can. They also have a mortar. Interesting. So
let's give him a warm welcome,
maybe we have Nomad here. He's set up. So Goatland might get some mortar support in a second here. That's a good way to counter the defensive positions OPFOR is making. So again, with this being like a 90-minute round, they have like double the time, a little under double the time that a normal FNF round would have of 50 minutes. So they can use that to their advantage. Also, OPFOR has a mortar back here too. But it is not being used. Interesting. So Goatland's coming around. the issue with this spot, looks like he used this to climb over the wall too. But Falcon is actually now in a really good position to catch Goatland coming out of this entrance. And Goatland will be illuminated on the light. So, yeah, Goatland has now stolen the mortar, quickly checks it. Don't know what type of ammunition that mortar has. Could only be illumination, could be HE as well. I'm willing to bet the blue 4 mortar has HE though. Because if I was him, I would have taken that mortar and just, you know, brought it all the way up and just dropped some HE. No, that's exactly... No, hold up. That... Wow. That was the blue 4 mortar. So really great job on the part of Nomad for properly identifying where on the map that OPFOR team was. But the real exceptional job is going to go to the mortar gunner, which is Massacre here. I mean, staying true to his name, he actually managed to get a knockout here. And the medic is trying to climb up to grab him. If they just repeat this fire, there it is. Literally being within 10 meters. They don't have artillery computers. So it's all range cards and shit. I mean, being that accurate is pretty damn good for no spotting rounds. That was their first salvo. They've definitely stopped this OPFOR group from coming in, which is going to buy Goatland more time to push along this vector. Meanwhile, Goatland going to go up to this building. He's going to actually be able to catch Falcon out of position now because Falcon adjusted himself and he's actually exposed himself a lot more now. More HE coming in, more knockouts being done. Now we have 3 dudes knocked out. Great use of the mortar there. Goatland, I think, is going to... Yep, gets a pistol shot on Ram. Staying with the suppressed gun. Steel now looking around, wondering what the heck happened. Goatland's not going to see Falcon from this angle, though. I think Goatland has his effects volume turned up because he hears Steel's footsteps coming around. And Falcon, oh man, if you were to pull back a little bit and look up, he might be able to catch Goatland in position right there. You see Steel going on his radio real quick to report that, you know, he heard suppressed shots. He's having Falcon, I think, come around. And now you got Biscuit coming out. Goatland switching back to his handgun. Hitting Biscuit. Biscuit quickly going down. And Falcon and Steel, they know that Goatland is right here now, somewhere along that building. So they're circling here. They're going to have a little bit of a tough time getting through that vehicle. Meanwhile, looking back at the mortar results here, 3 dead from that HE mortar. Absolutely brilliant by Massacre and Nomad here, whittling down OPFOR's forces tactically with their assets here. We have a grenade thrown. He's trying to bait Biscuit to come out of that tower. Oh, look at this. They also set up the wheels in a way that made a little firing hole right here. That's pretty cute. But I would say Blue 4 with these maneuvers has actually bought themselves a little bit of an advantage here, but it's also going to rely on how much damage does Goatland do and if he's able to take out this entire group. Those mortars have prevented OPFOR's QRF from getting to this base to really hamper down on Goatland's chances, so... This is exactly the type of special forces stuff Blue 4 wants to do. They want to take OPFOR's smaller groups and completely take them out. They also want to make sure that they can take control of this base by the time the mission ends. And the more of the small groups that they can catch out of OPFOR, the more players that Blue 4 will have to do the really hard assault, which is going to be the uphill battle of taking this position out. We also still have the OPFOR tank to worry about. And that T-72, I mean, it's got a guy turned out, and they are looking for an opportunity to use that tank. So meanwhile, it looks like Goatland, unfortunately, was just taken out. We missed it. I think he poked his head out and was taken out by one of these 3 guys down here. We also saw some smoke of a grenade thrown. Looks like Falcon was able to get that kill. It was either Falcon or Steel. But I'd actually be willing to bet it was Steel because he's on the back of this truck. He was looking up. He would have had a great angle if Goatland poked his head out. But either way, with that, it's now up to Blue 4's main force to finish the objective. So, quick recap on where all of the assets are. Blue 4 still has their 2 SOCOM boats. One has a gunner for the GMG on the western side. The other SOCOM boat here is just staying open. It doesn't have anyone on the back, so they might use that as a quick transport Vic to move forces around. The entire Special Forces team for Blue 4 has been killed off. Op 4 has taken, I believe, let's see, 3, 4, 5 KIAs. We have Ram as the only guy dead in that group, but we also have these 4 guys. New Bass, part of the 113, and then the 3 guys we saw up there, which were actually part of Hippie's M113 infantry group, so they were the guys, you know, watching that eastern flank. So, body-wise, it's still pretty even. I would, actually, we're seeing, let's see, that skull doesn't count because he's in that boat. So, you know, 4 Blue 4 deaths to 5 Op 4 deaths. Op 4 is down a 113. But it's still anyone's game. Also, Blue 4's used some of their HE shells. Where's Bennis here? He is hiding way... Oh, he's way up north. Yeah, trying to stay out of the fight because he only has to be at the communications center in the last few minutes of the round itself. And we're on the last hour here. I have to be in TSB in about 50 minutes. So, we have a little bit of a lull here as Blue 4 is slowly making... They're not even really advancing, they're just kind of holding this position. I think they're trying to develop a new plan. Hold up. That was Biscuit double-tapping Goatland's body to make sure he was dead. Alright. I mean, that would be a really powerful weapon to pick up and use. I know they're allowed to pick up enemy guns. Certainly a lot better than a holographic sight on that gun. At least take the scope, you know? But Op 4 is still maintaining control of that base, and we're just going to wait on Blue 4 now to move in. So, going to have a quick drink here. Alright. I mean, at this point now, it's wait and see. Op 4, if the mission were to end in 5 minutes, Op 4 would, you know, bring the guy to the post. They'd also maintain control of the airbase. All they have to do is turtle here, and they're fine. So Blue 4 needs to start thinking about making an advance, and I think we're starting to see that. No, I thought these Vics would be fully mounted, but that is not the case. But with those Vics being utilized, I knew it. There's the tank firing. Oh! Ho, ho. That was the one with 2 people in it. No, that was an HE round on an infantry guy on Border Keeper. I thought that was on one of the Vics here. But no, they instead spotted Border Keeper in the open here. His body's glitching out. I think that was an HEAT round. Usually you see more smoke with HE. Rocket now going out, though. Excuse me, missile from the looks of it. Hits the tank, knocks out Schoenhofer. And the tank is now smoking. The tank is now down. I thought Blue 4 only had a Carl Gustav. There's the Vic going here. Crew quickly bailing out. And there goes the tank. What on earth? So who had that? Who had the AT? You just heard the tank explode. T-72 is now no longer a viable asset for Op 4 here. That's definitely shifted the balance of power in Blue 4's favor. No, it was Gigum, but I want to look at the AT that these guys have. We see an M72. We have Factive House down here for Charlie. This looks like where the missile came from. He also has an M72. We have Mad Wolf. who has the Carl Gustav. So where did that missile come from? Hold up, we got Matoni. Matoni's also has a Carl Gustav. So where... That was not a Carl Gustav round. That was an actual missile. So maybe it was a special, like from their special weapons crate that they picked up. But I have no idea who fired that. Because I was under the impression that Blue 4 only had the Carl Gustavs. But clearly I am wrong in that regard. If I were to guess, I mean, it sounded like it was a Titan. It wasn't a Javelin because it makes a different launcher sound. But the missile sound itself seemed to be a direct fire Titan round. But I don't see anyone with a Titan. So I'm very confused here. We're seeing some statics being taken out and now trying to be fielded in for Op 4 here. Maybe they had it in the vehicle. But that was definitely... Oh, here it is. Yep. Okay, so it was a tow launcher. It makes the same exact sound as a Titan. So that was Zicky here. We don't see the vehicle credit kill because it was a cook-off. But yeah, no, he had a perfect angle.
Regroup.
If you see where that fireball is, looks like he pulled it in a bit more. The tank did pull off to the left, but he perfectly saw it because it was a little more to the right. It was on this hill. So yeah, no, he just saw the tank and was able to take it out with that tow launcher. So really good play right there. We also noticed it's starting to get a little brighter here. But with that tank being gone, that's going to give Blue 4 a lot more room to come in. And now, honestly, Blue 4 is going to have the advantage. They have a tow launcher, they have a mortar, and they have a grenade machine gun, and that thing definitely has the range to hit this hillside. So Op 4 is in a little bit of trouble. We're also seeing a smoking wreck up here. This is a truck that the tow might have also hit. You can see that it's open in the back angle here. The 113 is dismounted up here. And we also just heard a gunshot go off. So yeah, no, that tow's doing a really good job of knocking things out. But the one issue I'm having with this is Blue 4. They are taking their time, but they need to start getting a move on soon. They still have about 45 minutes to get their maneuvering done, but they're taking this very, very cautiously. Actually, no, I'm gonna take that back. Because the plan all along that Blue 4 has been doing is trying to slowly divide and conquer Op 4. We saw that with the 4 Delta guys. There's the GMG now firing. Hitting just the front of this trench line, excuse me, not trench line, that, ridge line. And they're trying to range it up a little more, but it looks like they're having a spotter. Yep, so it's Matoni coordinating with Sixor here. And you can watch these rounds actually come in with the Tracer. And gonna be a little over now, but that's definitely gonna shock that infantry group. It's a little easier to see it with, we're in a black thermal mode, so we can see the lines a bit easier. Because the blue, I mean, it's a little tough to see that. But here's white thermals here. So it's landing a bit far, but they're using this as a shock tactic to try to route the Op 4 infantry. But basically, Blue 4, it's taking their time. They're keeping their forces consolidated. And they're basically just trying to pick off who they can on Op 4 before they send their forces in a main assault. So actually, for what that strategy is worth, it's doing a really good job. And we're having some Op 4, I think he's a glitched out dead guy, because I'm not getting a symbol on him. That might be a bit confusing. But so far, it's actually been working. I'm used to, you know, FNF being 50 rounds, so when I saw that time, I thought in my head they only had like 15 minutes left. But no, they still have like 45 to 50 minutes. So, you know, with this strategy, if they just leave the last 30 minutes for the infantry to maneuver. You know, send a squad over, take the base, send another squad over, take the communication center, and prevent or either kill off the commander while he's in there or prevent him from getting in that zone. Blue 4 will easily be able to shift the tide here and score the victory. We still have Op 4, they also pushed their toe up. He's skylining a bit, but with the GMG covering it, and they've got Matoni kind of overwatching with that rangefinder. Actually, no, that's a laser designator, so he'll be able to get, you know, it is practically a rangefinder because it can get ranges. He might be able to also mark targets for the toe, because they have a night vision scope to engage, and they just got a direct hit on a vehicle here on Papa's position. And that was the other 113. They just pulled this out of base and put on Overwatch Vector. So no kills, but now Op 4 has completely lost their vehicle cover and are down to infantry and that one machine gun bunker. You're seeing this is either GMG fire or that's GMG fire. Great hit landing by one of the Op 4 players there. And it's just doing, like, it's basically a mini mortar at that point. It's a small anti-infantry 20mm mortar. I believe grenade machine guns are 20mm and the underslung launchers are 40mm, but I'm gonna have to fact check that. But we also do have Op 4. They have some positions right here as fallback in case Blue 4 gets close up to that ridge, but Blue 4 doing a really good job utilizing their support assets here to shift the balance of power. And they're being patient, and that's something Op 4 has to contend with at this point. So we're seeing he's again lining it upwards to kind of get basically a line going up to try to engage anyone. But that's a really smart tactic of, you know, spreading the fire out to make sure you get a hit. Ooh, landing dangerously close. But it turns out the max range of that GMG is actually right on top of Op 4's position right here. No kills there, but definitely some wounds. We see the Zulu guy bandaging right now. That would be Mikkel. And we have Sergeant Fluffers just chilling in the middle of it, knowing that it's going to take a lot more than that to defeat him. But yeah, Op 4, they've set up a loose 360 perimeter here. They still have their... Hold on. Blue 4's SOCOM boat might have just found Op 4's VIP in the RHIV, and Flanker is immediately getting out and getting on the GMG to try to engage the VIP. Honestly, I would rather have the 134. What he needs to do is get back in this boat and then get closer to him, stop the boat, and then get on the 134, and he could just light that boat up on, like, just completely annihilate it. But now we have Op 4 VIP under pressure here from a naval asset. We'll keep an eye on that. But if Op 4 loses the VIP early on, Op 4 has to go for a supremacy victory, meaning they would have to be offensive against Blue 4 and try to push him down to 5 people, and I'm not sure they're going to have the possibility there. We're seeing Tracer round going out, possibly on this glitched out guy right here. So he's kind of a scarecrow at that point. They might be going a little higher, but that's kind of out of their engagement range. Definitely hear some shots going. We also have a Blue 4 unconscious guy back here. Not sure what knocked out back to the house here. But yeah, now we're having some GMG fire going up to that dude. He's an AI, because he just went prone. Definitely just a random AI guy. That's going to take a lot of the fire of the GMG. Because Blue 4 is now a bit confused, thinking there's more guys up here. Real quick. Flanker's pulling the boat up. VIP now ditching the boat. Nope, getting back in the driver's seat. Oh, poor Bennis. Now, if Bennis is smart, and he keeps that RHIB to the front of the SOCOM boat... Yeah, dude, grab the 50 cal. Trust me, that's going to be a lot more effective at this range. Oh, no, Flanker got the kill. Okay, so there goes the boat. Bennis now going for the water. I mean, oh, nope, there goes Bennis. All right. OPFOR VIP is dead. Blue 4 now has to go for, excuse me, OPFOR now has to go for a supremacy victory. Basically what that means is they have to get Blue 4 down to 5 players or less to get some points. And they also have to maintain control of this base position here. So Blue 4, honestly, they just had to kill that guy. And if they can keep the numbers advantage going, they'll be fine. But, I mean, looking at the OPFOR numbers here, we see some of the dead guys that have left. But, I mean... This is an entire sheet of Blue 4 guys compared to, you know, a partial sheet of OPFOR. There's still at least like 5 or 6 additional guys on the attacking team. And Blue 4 has been doing a really good job with their assets. So all Blue 4 needs to do at this point is just go to that base and turtle it, and they'll win if it goes to time. So we have 40 minutes left on the clock. Blue 4 server is, TSV server is ready to go. We're seeing some mortar rounds now being trailed up into this compound. Starting to get very bright, so we might switch from NVGs here soon. Looks like it was effective. We're seeing some bandages going down. And we got another GMG barrage going. However, the max range is kind of cutting off right here. And OPFOR have reset their defensive line in these bushes, relying on the fact that that GL is engaging at a different angle. Tow round fired again. Hitting that building. I think they might have seen someone up here and were trying to get a snipe, because a tow to the face would definitely kill a guy. Papa looks to be crippled. He might have jumped off from the rooftop, seeing that rocket come in, which was a very smart call. But for now, we're still going strong here. I mean, OPFOR, I don't know if they're going to realize that their VIP was killed off. If they try hailing him and see that they aren't able to reach him on radio, they might switch tactics here, because if they just play a defensive fight, Blue 4 is going to win on proxy because they've stopped the VIP from getting up to the compound. Hence why I don't think keeping the VIP out there was a good idea. They should have just stashed them somewhere close by, but on the mainland, if they knew that Blue 4 had those boats, because if the VIP were to run into them, it's pretty much a death sentence. It's a Mark 14, so I think chat's saying the Mark 14 is a 40mm. Which makes sense looking at the size of those rounds, so... I mean, either way, it's still a freaking grenade machine gun. It thing's nasty. Take another sip of water here, but Blue 4, I mean, we've seen them slowly start repositioning dudes down here. Issue with this position, I'll probably start getting out of night vision here now because it's just getting too bright. The issue with this spot is it is still very, very open. We just heard some sort of explosion. Not sure if that was a mortar or the GMG firing again. Sounded like it was the tow, actually, because we just saw another explosion on...
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Communication station. But I'm not seeing any new kills. Still have Ram that's dead, Newbass and Garrett that are down back there. And the VIP is also dead. Falcon, though, he has gotten on this mortar. He is now also firing some shots. Let's see if he fires another so I can actually watch where it goes. But we can guess, based off of this angle, it's gonna land right on top of the hill. We're actually seeing some explosions happen. No, it's smoke mortars. So they're now smoking Blue Force position. That's going to make them rout. And we'll see if there's another round that comes in that's HE related. Excuse me. Oh, goddamn. Choking on my own water now. Ah, for the love of God. 1 second. God damn it. Ah, I just fucked my voice. Because I tried to drink some fucking water. Okay. Why can't I speak? Why can't I speak normally? God damn it. Okay. Yep, so that mortar didn't have any HE. He fired some some smoke and some flares to try to route the Blue 4 group from this hill. But if they're smart and they realize that that was just smoke and a flare round going in, there's another flare that just came in, they're going to realize that this is just a ploy to try to get them off that hill so they can just get back on this hill and keep engaged. But that was a good reaction by Blue 4, seeing the mortar smoke and immediately pulling away thinking they were about to get hit. But, I mean, it's, again, a ploy, and we see Zicky, he's immediately coming right up back to the static here. Instead, he's actually looking around. He's got a magnified optic here, and there he goes. He goes back in the tow. Whew, sorry about that, guys. I've never had that happen on a stream where I choke so hard on water that I, literally, my voice went out for a bit, blocked my windpipe. Whew. But, anyway, Adrian, thanks so much for the 5-month resub. Adrian the Emu, I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this one. 35 minutes remaining on this round. It's difficult to say what's going to happen. So Blue 4, if they properly communicate that they killed the VIP, they don't need to go up to the communication center anymore. All they need to do is pull right and push into that base and secure it, turtle it, and then they're done. But we also have a motorcycle driving around on the airstrip. I think they're trying to bait OPFOR to engage them, to try to bait OPFOR's position to be blown, so then the GMG and the mortar can then hit that position. So OPFOR is waiting for the opportune time to catch Blue 4 out of position on the coastline here, but this doesn't need to happen because all Blue 4 needs to do to win is just take that base and hold it for the rest of the round. So I don't think Blue 4's truly realized the extent of what they've done in killing the VIP. They probably didn't properly PID him because the flanker just didn't get a good shot, or they did and Blue 4 just hasn't adapted their tactics yet, or they're just going for a supremacy victory as well and just eliminating all of OPFOR that they can. Meanwhile, I don't think OPFOR has gotten the memo either, because if they knew that their VIP was dead, I don't see why they'd pull 360 on this. I would just go to the defensive objective. So either side doesn't really understand what's gone on in the mission so far, or both sides just understand that they have a plan and they're sticking with it, and they're just gonna keep it going because they don't really know what else to do at that point. Meanwhile, we've still seen Blue 4 taking the civilian Vix and driving them back and forth, I guess possibly thinking that an OPFOR team might go around and flank. OPFOR did have an opportunity with the RHIB to send units around, but instead they used it to extract the VIP. Meanwhile, we're having some more rounds fire off. I'm willing to bet. Yeah, they're firing at this AI guy right here. So you see the tracers coming in. We see more GMG coming in. A little short on the right. But this bug here is actually going to give OPFOR a bit of an advantage in the sense that, you know, Blue 4 is going to think that that's where OPFOR's force is. Also good to note, the Romeo team, which was on defense of the FOB, is going to get counter-aggressive, going to get aggressive here and counter-attack Blue 4's team, but they might run right into that Blue 4 group. And Blue 4 does have the high ground right there, so. Little Star Wars joke. Otherwise, we see elements of Echo trying to engage this one guy. the rounds are going over. We also did see a SOCOM boat pull around over here. It still only has an additional guy, but I think it's doing some scouting for the OPFOR forces here. And Blue 4, they're pushing their groups up, and I don't think OPFOR's noticed. They've been too busy focusing on the Echo weapon team, and that's going to let Alpha and Bravo get right up to this OPFOR position, Oscar and Always, or... Yeah, no, it's Oscar. Take that out. Oh, gosh, that... Is he dead yet? No, he's not. Does he even bleed? I don't see any blood on the ground either. So yeah, that AI doing a really good job of just baiting everyone. And what the hell does that sign say? I've been seeing it all the entire round, but it's once and then I don't know what the rest of that is. I think it's kind of funny that Blue 4, they are focusing on this ghost. He hasn't moved at all. They have to suspect something if he's just been sitting there the entire time, you know? Otherwise, OPFOR pushing up this three-man group. They're going to try to take out that weapons team. Unfortunately, they have Delta. When I say Blue, I mean Blue 4 has their Delta squad watching the right flank, and unfortunately, OPFOR might just walk right on top of them. But these guys seem to be more focused on watching that position themselves and not right in front of them. This might give OPFOR an opportunity to get right on top of them. Now, whether or not those three guys break through this entire squad size element to then get a shot on the overwatching Echo team is anyone's guess. It's unlikely, but if they were to get a lot of kills here, that could easily shift the tide of battle here, because again, OPFOR needs the supremacy points to knock out everyone up to 5 Blue 4 guys to get 2 points to, you know, combine that with the total of holding that point at the end to still be able to take victory despite the VIP dying. All right, what do we have going on over here? OPFOR set up defensive lines back here. I'm not sure if they saw that Blue 4 was coming up on that position, but they're pulling back at angles to still overwatch this area out of the line of sight of the weapons team overwatching. That's really smart, because if they were up here, even if they saw Blue 4 going up and started engaging, then the GMG and the mortar would have been able to engage that position. So good use of pulling back on their sight lines to try to set up a secondary defensive line so they wouldn't get hit by enemy assets. Oh yeah, okay, you guys got to the part of me choking on water, yep. Lovely comments, yep. But anyway, Steel trying to engage with the 5.56 rifle on Prophet, unfortunately going down, because you hear that this team has, you know, the G3, the 7.62 rifle, and then this guy with the 240 Bravo, which is also 7.62. They were easily able to take Steel out there. Falcon took a few hits there. I'm hearing Biscuit fire off with, nope, that's the 5.56 rifle as well. I'm surprised none of them took the Delta team's marksman rifle. That would have been really smart. Instead, they stuck with their guns. Well, I mean, the suppressed weapon, or actually it wasn't suppressed, just had a flash hider, but I mean, free headshots on some of Blue 4's guys, that would have been excellent to take. Otherwise, no Blue 4 deaths on Delta. And no new deaths, period, but they lost Steel right there. Meanwhile, Bravo is mounting up to begin an offensive on OPFOR Oscar team as Alpha still swings around, and Oscar might be attempting to do a reposition here. Got some GLs firing. And yeah, the AI, it's now bleeding, but he's still standing there acting like an AI to fuck with Blue 4. You gotta love all the crazy rare glitches in Arma 3. Every glitch is a different glitch, but again, because of how common it is to see one of these rare glitches every week or every other week. It makes all of them common by proxy. So you just expect it at this point. And I just find that really funny. So Biscuit, that is a morphine or an epi stick going in him. You can tell because you hear the little click of the, you know, it being injected. So OPFOR, they've repositioned some guys into this tree line. I don't know if they knew that Blue 4 was coming around this angle, or they're just making a blind prediction here. They're trying to set up a defense line in case a group comes up this forested route, which Blue 4 is attempting to do on the far left. Because OPFOR, they've left some guys up there for security, but Alpha is a small squad in and of itself. It's going to be about a 6v5. It's pretty even. Now you're hearing that GMG landing a little off from the main force. It's landing over here now because I think they're misinterpreting how where OPFOR's position is here. The AI is not immortal because we just saw him bleeding, but then again, you guys are 5 minutes behind and I was already covering the AI. These guys trying to find an angle on Biscuit. That are just watching that direction for security's sake. And we have 25 minutes remaining. You're right, the some of you are talking about the boats. Again, 5 minutes behind, but the boats, it looks like they've actually set up over here, but the boat, we saw that the GMG was active. It could literally pull up on the coast and fire. It could be GMG support for Alpha coming up if it were to stay, you know, back, because it definitely has the range to hit up here. So a little bit of misuse of assets there by Blue 4 in that regard with the SOCOM boat, but I mean, they've had incredible asset use with statics, which you rarely see people do in this game. And it's really worked out for him. But now you have Anam up here. He might catch the Blue 4 guys out of position as they're advancing. Ooh, they're going to get caught out in the open right here. But will Anam see him? He's coming around. Doesn't notice them on the right. Oh, now he's... Bravo's come up. They're engaging that group. Anam now running back, not going to catch these Blue 4 guys out of position, but Blue 4 turned around to see those gunshots. They probably just saw Anam there, and they quickly go down, but Anam lost an opportunity. Now he's looking. Oh, he totally just saw those guys, and now he's pulling around, takes multiple shots to the chest, now panic firing back there. Look at all the tracers coming in on him. Here, I just want to see. Look at this with the... Oh, God, with the thermals, and he is dead. His symbol's gone away. Bravo's pulled around. We have 2 guys down on Bravo's side here. They're down to 3 dudes out of their 5-man team that was coming up here. But OPFOR also lost an additional guy. And you also have the machine gunner firing at range here. They have lost Cobra as well. But they also have guys back here in reserve. To watch for another Blue 4 force coming around. So Blue 4 here is trying to smoke a retreat to try to pull around to the comm site. That works against the plan that Blue 4 was doing, because Blue 4 is trying to divide and conquer here. But Blue 4, in doing that, has now divided themselves for OPFOR to now attack and make this fight more even. This is going to force Blue 4 to pull their units off of Overwatch and push them in. By the way, it looks like that OPFOR 3-man team is now completely dead. So Falcon, Biscuit, and Steel are all dead right there. Blue 4 was able to easily sweep that group out. And it looks like Echo and Delta did not take a single KIA. So 3 free kills. Again, good for that divide and conquer strategy. But now Blue 4... is getting a bit divided here. It looks like Alpha's going to be able to pull out, though. They do have some guys now firing at them from the high ground. Trying to look for Alpha's roster right here. They're down to 4 guys. But we also have Alpha 2, so it's it should be around 8 guys up here total, but until we have 6. I remember them starting with 6. But they're going to get pinned down very easily here. They're going to have to keep snaking around to get to some treacherous terrain here, but OPFOR will be able to kind of keep that high ground and keep them pinned. Meanwhile, Blue 4 now contending. The reserve forces have pulled down, and now they're catching additional Blue 4 guys out in the open. So Shadow trying to roll away gets hit. Going in unconscious animation. Not sure if Sirius will go for a double tap. This is not what Blue 4 wanted to do, because if they throw their assaulting teams here, it's less manpower. But at the same time, Blue 4 doesn't need that communication sensor because they've already killed the VIP. I just don't think they know about it yet, because otherwise throwing people up there is a waste of manpower. If they just, you know, send this one VIG... Is this a bus? It's a fucking battle bus. I love it. If they just send units up here, once they step in, they'll automatically get the territory. They just have to hold that position. This is the text I was seeing. Okay, so there's 2 different places where there's text. Interesting. But besides the point, all Blue 4 has to do is hold that position. They already killed the VIP. They win. So throwing men at this point into the communication center is a bit of a waste, but I guess it just keeps OPFOR on their toes to not move into that spot. So I'm not sure if Urzagul there meant to fire a GL that was, you know, smoke, flare round there. It's like, I think you just fired a second one. Yep, there it is. Pepe here poked his head up and got it taken off. He can still live, though. And you have this Alpha group kind of pinned down right here. But we have about 19 minutes remaining. I'm hoping something happens in that time, because I'm out of here in 19 minutes for my next gig. Hard to say. I think Alpha has turned around some of their units here and are trying to engage. I just heard a marksman round go off. That would be... Nope, it's just the sound of the rifle. Interesting. Trying to engage Always here, who's pushing down. So he's quickly trying to retreat back into the forest to get some cover. But look at what this has done to OPFOR's line here. All of their units, I want to say at least 90%, have now turned and are facing this section. They're completely ignoring what could potentially be another Blue 4 advance at a different angle. They have a few guys on rear security here, but for the most part, if Blue 4 is just trying to run a distraction right here, they're doing a good job. And if Blue 4 just trades evenly with OPFOR here, that can whittle down OPFOR to a small enough number where the rest of these forces just go in, take the facility, and hold it, and they're fine. Yeah, again, I think the boats are just chilling right here. I don't really see why they'd be back here. But, you know, those weapons, if they had a boat right here with a GMG, and they angled the GMG right here to fire up on that spot, they could easily, you know, start hitting the comm tower and help alleviate Alpha's position. Now, good PvP going right here. Did Always just turn around and hit some of his own dudes? We just saw some bullets exchange back and forth right here. We have Sirius and Ricky here. I thought they were hit by Blue 4, but there's no way Blue 4 had an angle to hit these guys. I think Always just got confused and hit 2 of his own guys, thinking this was another Blue 4 team coming up. So 2 additional guys down. That might buy a break for Blake and Urzagul to come up here and gain some more ground than they honestly deserve, more than they deserved. Yeah, those boats could really be helpful right now. And I don't think we're going to see them get used at all for the rest of this mission, which is a big misplay by Blue 4. They've advanced to the next rock line here. It's only 0 gravity and Hood. It's a 2v2. Always, though, he's coming around to try to get a flanking shot. Might have just seen Urzgol pull back. Might catch Blake out of position here. Blake does have a 249. Always is a little in the open right there, but there is a tree in Blake's line of sight that's going to block Always out. Always now advancing far left. Blake might have just seen him out of position. Starts engaging. A lot of rounds going to Always. That 249 is not something Always wants to deal with right now, because Blake doesn't need to reload for a while and can easily keep him pinned. So Always trying to pop some smoke grenades to cover himself. Throwing them left. He needs to throw in a little more to the right. But Blake should know, based off of these smokes coming out, that he does have Always on the run. So he's going to be a little more liberal in pulling out. No, he does not. He pulls back. But now the smoke's starting to billow out heavily to be spotted. You also have Urzgol here seeing that smoke. No, I don't know who fired that GL. Maybe it was Always? No, I heard it fire again, though. You can hear the click of it. I don't know if that's Alpha doing that. No, it's Jonathan here firing some GLs up here. There's some landing wheels. There's some flares going. But yeah, Blue Force still being super slow to advance to the base itself. I don't know. I like to cover things fully, but I have to go in 15 minutes. I know they also started 5 minutes late, so it might run an additional 5, but I can't afford that because I have a gig at 5:30, you know? Server's ready to go. I'm just going to give it a quick restart before we start. It's going to be a quick operation. And I might also just quickly take the stream down for a few minutes just to take a small, like, 5-minute break as well. Or hell, I'll just run 3 ads. It's fine. 3 minutes of ads. I keep forgetting that's a thing. Now we have Always flanking down further to the south. He's going to try to come around again, but if he gets a good angle here on Blake and Urzgol, he could potentially take them both out. I'm willing to bet. Yeah, so Cirrus just left. I think he's dead. Yep, I think these guys got friendly fired. I don't think they got picked off by Alpha. Maybe by Jonathan flank, but I think these guys are too busy firing at OFCRA at this angle up here. And now we're having the SOCOM boat come back around. Let me guess. Does it have a gunner? Yes. It has a +1. And that +1 could get on this Mark 19 and fire up at the comm station and help Alpha in their push. So immediately you're seeing a guy get out. And looks like Susuke, can't even pronounce his name. He's going to try to range, but OFCRA with this November team immediately realizing this group right here. We see a single GL being fired, I guess, to range this in. Hippie noticing this group, he's immediately trying to engage. That is a MG42 as well. And he's trying to snipe out the statics. Trying to hit Corvo here. This is probably why Blue 4 was reluctant to send this team in, because they knew they could be potentially engaged. But they are completely mis-PIDing where Hippie is. They're firing to his left. Those tracer rounds should help Corvo see where those shots are originating from. We're seeing his aim now turning right. We're also seeing Susu. I think I'm going to find my final answer there. He is now adjusting to engage those tracer rounds. Those were reload tracers for Hippie. Now his position's been sorted out here. Also, quickly looking back, we have Blake unconscious. Always has successfully come around, took Blake out, and now we have Urzgol bandaging. He, I think, is going to go down as well. Alpha's also down a man. There's only 5 of them there. And OPFOR is now surrounding Urzgol, and the other guys is positioned Blake, and still no advancing from that hill. So Blue 4 is just showing that they're being way too defensive now, when in reality they just got to push that military base, or they know they're waiting for the clock to run down a bit more before they send their forces in. Boat is now being moved. Corvo doing his best to stay on the boat as it moves. Got to be careful he doesn't get armored on it. It's very easy for that to happen, but he's staying with it. And now he's mounted back in it, and now they're going to drive away. So you do see that he was wounded in that shop. I don't see any bandaging, so he either waited to get back in the Vic to do it, or he's pulled out. I think they pulled away because, yep, no, there's Hippie. So Hippie got killed trying to engage the boat. They're just staying in the boat now to bandage Blue 4, that is. Mr. Cool, I think, is going to come up, get that machine gun, and keep firing on the boat. But with how OPFOR is loosely collaborated, the only group that hasn't taken any KIAs is Papa, but they've been engaging with Blue 4's Alpha back here. I don't really see how OPFOR can gain a supremacy victory here. Looks like yours goal was just taken out. And, I mean, Blue 4, I think, is just camping, waiting for the last few minutes. They have the boat right here, so they could literally just have flanker charge in there in the last 2 minutes, take the base, and as long as they have one guy in there, they win. So I think Blue 4 doesn't want to just send their guys up, and instead they sent half their force just to kind of test the waters of OPFOR. We just heard AT get launched and knocking out Jonathan. That looked like a standard RPG rocket. I doubt it was OG. But that launch came from Dark Neo. You know what? Actually, I am going to have to stop the stream because I want to get rid of that 5-minute delay. So it just means you'll only have to wait 5 minutes if you watch it till the end. Because we'll start right back up at 5:30. But 9 minutes left before I cut it, because I have to go run somewhere else. And we're having the boat engage something. It has also mounted its Mark 19 and is now blindly suppressing into this base. I don't know if Blue 4 thinks there's something over there, but we're starting to see Blue 4 mount guys to move in. But they're still being very defensive and slow to go in. But OPFOR still hasn't repositioned any guys. And Blue 4, I mean, they're still down to only 5 dudes. I don't think Jonathan woke back up. Yeah, he died there. It might have actually been an OG round. That or just a direct RPG hit, but more likely an OG. Based on the fact that he bled out that quickly. But OPFOR, if they don't send a team down there within the next 8 minutes, I'm gonna call it early and say it's most likely a Blue 4 victory. Of course, I won't know because I cannot stay for those extra 5 minutes. But, oh, did you see that? OPFOR was able to knock out the driver of the boat. Boat swung around here and is trying to get on the miniguns. I don't know if he was sniped out. I do see this window blown open. See how it's a different color than the others? So I think they knocked that window out and potentially sniped him through it. Now you're seeing the 134 opening up, but it's firing at a friendly, unfortunately. The PHK, he quickly turns around. I don't think he has a way of talking to that boat. No, he does. He has an LR, so he should be able to tell the boat to stop. And you're hearing that boat engage with the 50 cal just firing blindly into this AO. But I think that just shows that Blue 4... I think Blue 4 thinks that there's an OPFOR force in here. They don't realize that the OPFOR force pulled out to try to engage them. So... with that, I think that's why they're being super defensive, because they don't want to... they want to keep their forces on Overwatch, and they want to, you know, try to take the communications tower. Because maybe they think that OPFOR... because they lost their VIP, would then send their forces to defend that base, so they're trying to sweep around, again, to continue that divide and conquer strategy, but it's not working out for them. They've set up another 50 cal, they set up their 240 Bravo here, they're still looking around with their rangefinders, but... there's just nothing for them to hit. Blue 4, in its divide and conquer strategy, has divided itself and is being conquered by the remnant of OPFOR, and it's... if this was a strict PvP only, in terms of, you know, whoever has the most people by the end wins, I think OPFOR could potentially bounce back, but just because of what's happened, I don't really see OPFOR coming back. Down to 5 minutes. Again, the round will play for an additional 5 minutes after I leave, so I won't know who the definitive victor is, but I can easily infer based on what's happened that I think Blue 4 is just going to get in the base, take it, and that's going to be that. Blue 4, it looks like they are grabbing a motorbike. It's back to the logic and one other person. They're going to drive in there to check it out. I like that play. They're using a motorbike that moves very quickly to see if there's anything in the base itself. They're going to find it empty, though. This is OPFOR's spawn. They drive right by. Have a few near misses there, and never mind. They dismount. I don't see any blood, so I'm not sure if they hurt themselves, but they're going to see that this is clear and then probably go up and take the base. You still have Golden's body up here. I find that adorable. So they're just going to check this for any OPFOR activity, but if it's fine, they're going to move this element in. I think they're also mounting up the Overwatch team in this Vic, and they're going to drive it down as well. They're leaving Lolo up here to do Overwatch, but I think he might also... I think he's thinking about mounting up in that other Vic and pulling down. So the OPFOR Oscar group has reconsolidated. They're up on this rock. Honestly, if the Overwatch team was still here, they'd have eyes on this position, and it is within striking range of that GMG. They might be out of ammo, though, for it, though, which is why they're adjusting. That, or they realize that they're running low on time. They need to make an offensive maneuver on that southern base to take it to guarantee their victory. You also have that boat coming around. Let's actually quickly look at it here. I don't see a +1 on it. I think the other guy has died then. Let's confirm. Looking for a skull. Yep, we also have Corvo dead in it as well. He's got a second copy of himself. That's because he died while the op was starting in the warm-up, so he was able to relog. But yeah, no, Blue 4 is going to make an advance here. We got the Fact of Logic and his battle buddy. And the boat's also pushed up a bit closer. They're in this building trying to see if anyone's alive in there. Seeing the bodies, though, might freak them out a little bit, but... No, that base is free, and I think Blue 4 is going to be able to take it. No, the Overwatch team has decided to gun-ho it. So 5 infantry are going to get out, and they're going to assault this directly from a different flank, relying on the fact that OPFOR is trying to set up a defensive line. So they're going to pincer maneuver the communication center. So OPFOR, meanwhile, let's do a head count here. We have 5 guys in that group. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, 14 guys. I thought there was a third person in that group. So 14. So if Blue 4 kills 9 more OPFOR guys, if these 5, 6, 7, 8, if these 9 Blue 4 guys trade evenly with OPFOR, Blue 4 will get the 2 points for supremacy, and their victory is guaranteed at that point. And then we also have another group right here that's just dismounted. I don't see how OPFOR is going to push out of this. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly restart my server so I know it's good to go. I might hang for 1 or 2 extra minutes, but that is it. I've already gotten on it. I've tested it server side. I know it works. But let's see. OPFOR immediately losing 1 guy going unconscious. There's another unconscious guy being carried around. Blue 4 really close. Alpha's close to being up there. But the Echo team, they have got a man down. That was Nomad. So again, trading evenly. That's good. Grenade being thrown. Near perfect, but just short to land by the Papa SL. And now you have Op4 blue on blueing their own guys because they don't know where their own AI are. So you can tell that they're, you know, the perfect lines of communication are gone for Op4 because of the sustained casualties they have taken. Meanwhile, Medic has pushed back on this rock. Overextends a little bit, but Blue 4 missing their original barrage. Op4 getting the kill. Oh, they get 2 Blue 4 guys for that one. And we have Massacre coming around. But he is now getting shot by Papa as well. But Papa was getting blue on blue by his own guy. But that 240 wreaking havoc. But this Op4 guy is going to come down and get a top-down kill. Wow. So there goes the support team. A lot of free kills for Op4 right there. Nomad managed to wake back up, but if Op4 continues that level of PvP for the next few minutes, they're not going to win because there's more than 5 guys down at this base, and Blue 4 now clearing that position out to guarantee that they have it. But, I mean, great PvP nonetheless. I mean, Op4, if they get the kills here, they can still mount up in a truck, drive down to that base, and then potentially still get a victory. But they have to move fast because time is not on their side. It's 5:20. I'm gonna give 2 minutes. I'm gonna give 2 minutes for the PvP, but then I absolutely have to get out of here. We'll give 2 more minutes to kind of judge what's still going on here. Player count wise, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys still up. To 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So yeah, Blue has a 2-to-1 advantage on Red right now, and Blue has a lot of guys coming in. But if Op4 is able to keep this up, they will be able to get it on the bounce back. I got 60 more seconds, and then I have to skedaddle. We have a TSV operation. But the next bout of PvP isn't going to start until that Blue 4 group gets into position. But Blue 4 has control of this sector. The only way Op4 can win is if they mount up all their dudes, beeline it to that position, and wrestle it out of Blue 4's grasp. But it's going to be a bloody fight either way, and then Blue 4 will be able to take the other truck, follow behind, and statistically, Blue 4 is the most likely to win it here. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it here. We'll be back. Since this is on a 5-minute delay, we'll be back in like 3 minutes if you watch this till the end for the TSB operation. So thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of the day or night. Again, back in a few minutes. Otherwise, cheers. Have a good one. Go operate operationally. And yeah.